And we are back.
And
Ah.
I've bought the Young Bucks book.
Welcome to the future where you can buy a book in literally seconds. So you get the ebook version or the actual physical copy.
Hardback.
Oh, okay. So it's probably
Yeah,
I don't know, Amazon's actually pretty quick with its shipping times. I bought
I've got.
something like last week and it came in literally 2 days, so
Yeah,
could get it
I
before
do
Christmas.
like having hardbacks. If it was paperback, I'm not really a snob when it comes to things, but I like the feel of a hardback book.
I,
Um,
on the other hand, hate physical media in all its forms, so I rather have I
yep.
literally have no DVDs. I have about 6, 7 books, and that's my only physical media I have. Everything else is on a cloud or saved to a hard drive.
I have way too much crap around me.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, your favorite match of the year,
Oh, yes, match of
or
the year.
that best match, or favorite. Yeah, is it the match that you think's the best, or your favorite match?
I'd say favorite match.
Okay.
And my favorite match this year, just by slim hair, I'm giving it to Walter versus Dragunov
Oh,
on NXT UK, which probably like 30 people saw.
yeah.
I know I've talked about it on here before, I think, but it's just I think I best described it as European strong style. Just two
Yeah.
big meaty blokes, or one particularly meaty bloke, beating the hell out of another bloke for about 40 minutes, and it was brilliant. Um, yeah, Walter was just this absolutely dominant wall of a human being, and
Mhm.
Dragunov was just hurling himself over and over again against this wall, and battering himself in termination just to bring Walter down. And for a few slim seconds, you actually believed that he would do it. Um, yeah, I do like me a good strong style match, and this was the epitome of it. So yes, 5 stars from me. My runner-up was going to be Timothy Thatcher versus Matt Riddle in the Fight Pit match
Oh yeah.
they had on NXT. I don't think they called it the Lions Den match, but it was essentially the Lions Den match.
Oh cool.
I don't know if you've seen it, but they built the structure in NXT and it looks so awesome. And I hope I'm sure they will now that they've built it, they'll use it for other matches as well. But
Cool.
seeing Timothy Thatcher almost lose his teeth was absolutely brutal. So yeah,
Was that sorry, did you say that was an NXT match?
NXT, yeah.
Okay.
I don't even think it was on a takeover. I think it was just on a weekly episode of
Oh
NXT.
really?
Yeah, one of those ones that they build up as because they don't have as many pay-per-views as the main show. They
Yeah,
essentially
like
use,
4.
yeah, so they essentially use weekly. They build up to a big weekly show as their as
Okay.
one of the pay-per-views.
I think that's a smart idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on. Next is our best British wrestler. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was one of those things where I was like, so my when you say British wrestler, my immediate thought is Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Um,
They don't have to be
because
based in Britain. They can be anywhere in the world.
yeah, but then I was like, has he had his? Is there someone British that's had better matches than him? So I was going through the list. I was like, Pack, but he hasn't really done much this year.
Mm. He was a
He's only
close one
just
for me.
come back, hasn't he?
Yeah.
In AEW? But then, like, I was trying to think, was his Rev Pro stuff beginning of this year? And I don't think it was. I think it was like end of last year.
Yeah, I think it was.
But Zach had that amazing match in January with Osprey,
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
uh, and he's had fantastic matches like all year round. I mean, even though his
It's hard to name
G1,
a bad match.
yeah, because he's just that
I don't
good
think
of a
I've ever seen a
wrestler.
bad one.
But then you like your wrestler of the year was Drew, and he is British.
Oh yeah, sure. I didn't even think about that. Being perfectly honest.
But would he consider himself Scottish and not British? Because as
Mm,
a Scot, a lot of Scots do think that way.
no true Scotsman, literally.
Yeah. But then I haven't seen enough of his stuff. I haven't seen any of his stuff, so I can't really weigh up. And with the lack of wrestling that happened for like 3 or 4 months, and this year sort of blurring into one, it has made it hard to decide what has been the best British wrestler.
Mm.
But Zach has been doing fantastic in the singles, and he's the heavy tag champ now.
Yeah.
And he's doing really good stuff with that, and his tag league stuff's been great. And then he's building to a great Tokyo Dome match. Like the build itself is really good. So I kind of just have to go with him. It's hard to name a better British wrestler than Zack Sabre Jr.
I think that's a fair pick.
And he's so unique in his style. Like people try to do the Zack Sabre Jr. style, but no one does it as well as him.
Yeah.
Like the classic British. I'm not going to punch and kick you. I'm going to keep you grounded and work you down without being boring. Because a lot of people do that and it's boring as hell. But Zach isn't boring. So yeah, I'll just say Zach.
Yeah, I think that's a solid pick.
So you didn't think of Drew when you?
No, I completely, because I kind of think I was thinking more British indie guys rather than WWE guys.
Oh, okay. So why am I your favorite then?
You were in the runners up with all of your notable matches this year, which included
my amazing Rumble appearance.
Yeah, and
I beat up British cruiserweight champion Ojmo Michael Oku at the Rumble.
Really?
Oh yeah, my run-in. I was a house of fire when I came in. I hit exploder suplexes on everyone.
I remember you hitting exploder suplexes when I watched it back. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, he was like the first guy because I was like, I want to go for I want this cruiserweight belt. I'll throw it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And fun story about that. I hit 3, and then I didn't know what to do. And after the thing, I was backstage. And like 2 or 3 people came up and they were like, I wanted to run up and you do an exploder suplex on me and just see how long we could. Yeah, that's what they said. And I was like, that would
how many do you think you could do before you get completely gassed?
4.
4.
I don't know. I've never tried it. But yeah, if I was a babyface, I probably would have made that a spot.
Yeah, I should have done something like that. I came in and I don't think I hit any. No, yeah, I did. I hit Spine Buster or Kenneth Halfpenny.
Oh, the Marathon Man.
Yeah, and he. But there was no room in the ring, so I think Harry Milligan was on the ground, and I remember like watching it in like slow motion in my head, like Kenneth was running towards me, and I knew that Harry was in the way, and we were like, Harry, move away. And of course he didn't, and Kenneth came down like right on his leg, which could have been nasty, but luckily he survived. He's made of hard stuff, that lad. So.
Rumbles are harder than people think.
Yeah, they really are.
So anyway.
What were we talking
British
about?
wrestlers.
British wrestler. Okay. Again, this was quite difficult because of lockdown and there's been minimal matches. So I've really gone for a breakout star for this year, although she hasn't done massive amounts of matches.
Yeah.
Alea James is.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah, because I think they're going to pull the trigger on her, and for considering how long she's been wrestling, you can tell she's a natural. You can tell she's going to go straight to the top. Strap a rocket to her, because
it's hard to dislike her.
Yeah,
like she's one of those people that
great as a babyface, I think.
Yeah,
and her matches in Rev Pro with Bobby Tyler and Giselle. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yep, you can tell she is a star in the making. Quote me now. In a few years, she will be women's champion. Well, she'll be British. Is it called the British Women's Championship or the NXT UK Women's Championship?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever the women's title is in NXT UK, she'll have it probably within a year.
So it'd be the WWE NXT UK Women's Championship. That seems like a
mouthful.
Yeah.
Yep. And my runner-up was Pac. As you say, he hasn't done a lot this year, but he also looks fantastic. I mean, that physique. So I'm pretty much giving him runner-up based on that alone.
But he's one of those guys that when he does something, though, it means a lot. Like going back to the less is more, like
did you see his just his return promo package on AEW was flipping fantastic. We see him like walking out along Hadrian's Wall, I think it was, on the beach, and sat in his apartment, and there's like loads of images of him around, like screaming at the screen. It's just brilliant.
It's like, you say this all the time with ex-WWE guys, but it's one of those things you just look at it and you just think, it's so easy.
How did you mess this up?
How did you mess this up? Like, just let these guys do their thing and they will make you the money. It's like, he's so good, and it just makes me angry when you think like what he didn't do in WWE.
Yeah, they gave him a cape and they didn't give him any promo time. Well, they did towards the end.
Yeah, but when they did, it was like the dumb WWE promos where it's like, say these words exactly and use these key phrases rather than, you know, tell this guy you're angry and you're going to kick his ass. No, it's like, no, you have to say that you're the epitome of physical. It's just,
put him in a box. Put him in a box.
He's so good at talking.
Yeah. And my other, sorry, I had another runner-up.
That's good.
Brendan White. I think is going to be another breakout star in a few years. I know he's still considered a contender. I guess he's still considered a contender in Rev Pro, but
I believe so. Yeah, until he comes out to his own music, I guess.
Yeah.
But Michael Oku also, I should have shouted him out because he's been doing fantastic.
Yeah,
true. Good. He's so good.
And he's going to be another big star in a few years, I think.
I mean, Giselle Shaw as well is one of those women who just always goes above and beyond. Like, her matches were always just fantastic.
Yeah.
I know, like, Trish Stratus is her inspiration, and you can see it because she has that energy, and you can sort of see a Trish Stratus in her, but that's not a negative.
No, it shouldn't be. I mean, well, come on, Trish Stratus has got to be considered one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, but you know, like,
she started off as like a side, what do you call it, valet, but she came into her own very, very quickly.
But like when you say, "Oh, they're being like so and so," that's often an insult because it's like, you know, like you see all the indie guys and you're like, "Oh, they're trying to be Jeff Hardy."
Yeah.
Like, how do I word this?
Giselle, she doesn't come off as Trish Stratus light. She doesn't come off as Tesco brand Trish Stratus.
Yeah, she is definitely her own person. But you can see it's sort of like when you see Sasha Banks and you can tell she's inspired by Eddie Guerrero, but in no way do you think, "Oh, that's Eddie Guerrero." Like Giselle Shaw is her own, and she's fantastic. And I can't wait to see more.
Cool.
Like next year should be a good year for wrestling.
Let's hope so. What was the next category that we
had? Best wrestler named TaylorMade Aiden Taylor.
Oh yes, also known as the Rookie of the Year award.
Oh, yes, that too.
I put contenders in there, but I really shouldn't, because contenders are considered.
Yeah, now this one was easiest for me.
Yeah, this is essentially the best, trainee we've seen at the Portsmouth School of Wrestling. Go ahead.
It's easy, isn't it? It's the easiest one.
Is it?
Yes, it's Kenneth Halfpenny.
Oh, yeah. See, this I wouldn't consider him a trainee anymore.
Well, you put contender, so when I saw contender, that was immediately what I thought.
I know, because I had the same problem. I was stuck between, should I put him in my best British wrestler, or no, is he still a trainee? I don't think he classifies as a trainee anymore. I think he's definitely gone a step above that. But it's a fair pick. He is he's essentially the crown jewel of the Portsmouth School of Wrestling, I believe, at the moment.
Yeah.
And well earned
in terms of like work ethic and and like just using the time off, quote unquote time off. He hasn't taken time off, it seems.
No, and like he's just like, I haven't known him that long. Only since the day I started at the wrestling school, he was the guy who took me aside and was like, went through the bumps with me and made me feel comfortable. But even just in the time I've known him, the like improvement that I've seen is massive. He's completely changed his physique. He's got an incredible shape. I remember, funny story, I remember being at the gym after training one day, and this guy walked past me. I was like, that guy's jacked. And I was like, oh, wait, it's Kenneth. It's Kenneth Osprey, bloody hell. And now I don't even think about it. I'm just like, yeah, Kenneth's been jacked for ages, so now I just take it for granted. Yeah, he should rename himself to Kenneth Fully Jacked Penny.
I hope he doesn't listen to this one because he'll get the biggest.
Gushing all over. Well, he's still not my trainee of the year because, as I said, I don't really consider him a trainee anymore. So.
That's hard then, because I just saw the word contender and I was like, you know,
I probably shouldn't have used contender. I probably should have put trainee, but yeah, you can still count him as your trainee of the year.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, like, we haven't done enough, I think, to warrant.
Well, that's the other problem. There's been such minimal training this year.
Yeah,
it's hard
because I'm trying to think, because we've only really had the 2 shows, haven't we?
Yeah.
And no, yeah, I'm going to Kenneth Halfpenny because, yeah.
Cool. My one was easy for me actually. I'm going to go with Sam Powell.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a solid.
Considering he's, say 17 or is he 18 now? He might be 18, like 15 for all I know. Yeah, considering how young he is and how he moves around the ring is absolutely ridiculous. He is going to be a huge star. You can tell. Yeah, every time I go to training, and see him there, he's improved massively.
Yeah.
He looks so comfortable in the ring. He can do so much stuff in the ring. He's one of those guys who's like, Sam, do you reckon you could do a 450 and land on your feet into a forward roll, into a rolling thunder? And he'd be like, yeah, maybe. And then he'd do it, and he'd nail it first time.
Ugh, I hate him.
All right.
No, he's one of those guys. I think when, like some people, they're good wrestlers, but they need that moment where it clicks and they create a character for themselves.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. He's got it down. Once he clicks with a character or a look,
yeah, absolutely.
He will shoot to the moon. Yeah.
But, still plenty of time yet.
He's
only
been at this
12, 13 years old. So yeah,
he's been doing this for like less than 2 years.
Yeah, he's relatively new.
Yeah, so he's got and his parents are super encouraging, which is promising, and I hope they keep doing that.
So nice that his mum used to come to training. I wish my family cared that much.
But it's one of those, I hope that he knows that he's this good, and not in a sort of way that he gets big head, but knows that if he can, keep to this, put his mind to it, then he could go far.
Oh, absolutely. And I think he does know that. He's very committed. He's not one of those guys who shows up to training once in a blue moon. He's there. He's dedicated. Goes out flyering and posting and whatnot. So he definitely puts in the extra shift in.
I hope he sticks with it because I want to wrestle him.
Yeah, same. I want him to make me look good. So cool. What's our next category?
Favorite best finisher.
This could also be just like best move or best spot of the year.
Okay.
Do you want to go with yours?
So when you say best move, my mind immediately goes to the one-winged angel.
But is there one particular one-winged angel that you saw this year that was even
the one
awesome?
from AAA Mania or whatever. Triple Mania, is that the name of the show?
Yeah, the one from Brett's Rope.
Yeah, that one just always looks so good.
It's a very slim line of not killing your opponent when you're doing that move top rope.
Yeah, and he's so smart at keeping that move special as well.
Well, nobody's kicked out of it, so
only one person ever.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't think anybody ever. Who kicked out of it?
Take a guess. Good quiz question. One person's kicked out.
What's his name? The other half of the Golden Lovers. Sorry.
Yes, Kota Ibushi.
Kota
You're
Ibushi,
correct.
yeah.
I think it was their 2 out of 3 falls match, and yeah, that's the only time I think. But yeah, so either that or Jeff Cobb in his tag league run in New Japan the past 2 months has
the Tour of the Islands.
Yes, he has done the most creative finishes from that. Like, so the one that came to mind was David Finlay does the sliced bread, which, if you don't know, is you get them up for a stunner, you run up the corner and you go backwards.
Yeah, Brian Kendrick used to use it.
Yeah, so David Finlay does it. He gets vertical. Jeff Cobb holds him there. Pushes him up, catches him into the Tour of the Islands.
I think I saw a gif of it on Reddit.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
well, this is the thing. The Tour of the Islands is fantastic because it shows his strength as well. He's ridiculously strong, absolutely ridiculously. Because I'm sure he qualified for whichever country he's from's Olympic team in some form of lifting.
He was a Olympic wrestler in the
that
Olympics.
might have been it. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he was the flag bearer for his country.
Yeah, because I remember they met at the the first Rev Pro show I went to, Vader versus Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a match against, it might have been Zack Sabre Jr. I can't remember. But when he came out, like, he wasn't really that well known at that point.
No.
And the ring announcer said, "Oh, he was a former member of the Olympic team," and that kind of got the crowd like, "Oh, really? Blimey!" And it kind of impressed the crowd. So it got him on his side immediately. But yeah, he's ridiculously strong. I'd love to find out how much he lifts, like what his deadlift max and his squat max is. So I'm sure it's something ridiculous.
You were correct. It was Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jeff Cobb in a heavyweight title match.
Yep, and it was a fantastic little match. As I say, it was really just as Jeff Cobb was coming into his own. But yeah,
and him now, he's just turned heel, and his it's so strange looking at because before he'd do these shows of strength, and it was in a way that it wowed the crowd. But I don't know how he's done it, but he's changed it so now it sort of makes you scared of what he can do. So as opposed to being impressed, you're like, oh, I hope that never happens to me.
That kind of Brock Lesnar style. Oh my God, please stop suplexing me on my head. Kind of raw strength. Yeah, scary.
Jeff Cobb also did a superplex while the guy was standing on the apron, but it was Dan Maloney.
Jeez.
Which, if you know Dan Maloney,
he thick boy.
Yeah. He is a hefty lad. He is a muscle-bound dude. So just the straight. And at one point, Jeff Cobb looked like he was struggling, and I think that was for show. And the crowd pooed themselves, and they just lifted them over. So, Jeff Cobb's Tour of the Island might have to be it. Either that or the One Winged Angel.
That's a really good one. Yeah, those are two very, very solid choices.
I'm going to go with the Tour of the Islands just because the One Winged Angel, you sort of have the expectation that no one's going to kick out, and that's been going so long that. And there's, Tour of the Islands, just because of the amount of ways that Jeff Cobb has used it, has to be that. Cool. And you, sir?
My one is, I'm just messaging it to you now. My one is Kairi Sane jumping off the top of the cage in a bin.
Oh, I have seen that gif.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the look of it.
She puts a dustbin on her head and jumps off the top of it. That is wrestling, one of the best images in wrestling I've ever seen. Is her falling through the air in a dustbin onto a crowd of people below.
The look of excitement and fear on her face before she puts it on her.
Yeah, that smile, that just crazy look in her eyes. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's this could end well. Woo! Yeah.
What a great moment.
Yep.
My runner-up being Keith Lee's Spirit Bomb.
Oh, Keith Lee's so
again
good.
Just another display of crazy strength, like the way he hits it on heavyweight guys like Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, or whatever. Freakishly strong, and it just looks it's still just a real. It's technically still just a sit out powerbomb, but he's made it his own. You won't ever get it mixed up with the Batista bomb or any other wrestler's powerbomb. Fantastic. I don't even know if he uses it as a finisher anymore. I know he uses that jackhammer type move as a finisher as well.
Have you ever seen Donovan Dijak versus Keith Lee from Bowler 2017?
No.
It is one of the... It's such a good match because it's kind of strong style, I guess. Yeah, you could say it's strong style. It's... But from what people have told me, they've tried to recreate it in NXT, but it's never been as good as that.
Yeah.
And if you can find the highlights alone are fantastic because like Keith Lee does the spirit bomb and Dijak bounces so high from it that he turns it into a backflip, lands on his feet, and then super kicks Keith Lee. And it's a double down.
Amazing.
Yeah. The spirit bomb's so good. And Keith Lee's so good.
He is. Again, I feel like he's being wasted on the main roster at the moment.
He's on the main roster, is he?
Yeah, there you go. I don't blame you for not being aware. They've completely wasted him because he had a really cool moment at the Rumble where he squared off with Brock, and that was awesome. And then he also...
What?
Yeah, I know. Google that if you can. And also when they did the three-way Survivor Series match, I think it was last year. It wasn't this year, was it?
Oh, I heard about that when he was part of NXT. I heard that he eliminated Roman Reigns from the Survivor Series match.
Can't remember.
Am I remembering correctly?
But he had cool standoff moments against Drew McIntyre and Roman. Like he looked like he could hang with very top stars in WWE, and yeah, now they've actually brought him onto the main roster, and he's just kind of been lost in the shuffle a bit. So,
well, isn't that the story of every person who's ever been called up ever?
Yeah, like I said,
they turn up, they have an impressive showcase, and then they just become a person.
Yep, Ricochet being another prime example of that, in my opinion.
I miss Ricochet's matches.
I
miss.
There's
Ricochet.
a guy who could benefit from going to AEW, I think. But...
he would have the best matches in AEW. Like, if you're ever talking about the moving around the ring, like Ricochet has to be the best person at being able, because that's something you don't think about as a fan, but when you become a wrestler, walking and running around a ring.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you watch
Andy
Ricochet...
was exacerbating that, emphasizing that, to us at training yesterday.
Oh, really?
Being able to move around the ring smoothly. It's just something you don't really well.
You don't think about it until you're in there and you realize how little space you have.
Yeah.
When I first got into a ring, I would hop a lot.
Yeah, you do those extra little steps.
Yeah,
it's a real thing with new trainees is you do they're all extra steps, and when you could just take one stride.
Yes, yeah, and when you watch Ricochet, he is so smooth at just walking and running around a ring.
Yeah,
it sort of just makes you go he looks like he was born inside a wrestling ring and has only ever walked inside a wrestling ring.
Yeah,
and that outside the wrestling ring, he must walk like I walk when I'm inside a ring. He just takes little extra steps here and there and skips, and he's so good.
Yeah. Sorry, and Ricochet, if you're listening to this and we're gushing over you.
He's the kind of person...
Kenneth Halfpenny, now we're gushing over Ricochet.
Yeah, Ricochet is a poster guy.
Oh, yeah.
WWE need people that... He's the kind of guy that would bring in a lot of female fans as well, I reckon.
Yep, absolutely.
Because he is a stud.
Guys and girls. Because guys want to be him and girls want to be him.
Yeah, and just put him on the front of everything and it will draw eyes. Ricochet's so good.
Okay, so moving away from wrestling now, into other media. The best movie / TV show you've seen this year?
I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay, well, movies have sucked this year. Honestly, I can't think of anything. I've seen good movies this year, but they didn't come out this year, so
Yep.
I really think they can qualify. I think the only good movie I saw was Palm Springs, but I don't know. I wouldn't write home about it. It was essentially Groundhog Day, but slightly different, like moderned up.
Okay.
But no, I'm going to go with my best TV show being The Mandalorian.
Yep. I thought you were going to go with that.
Yeah, just had its finale the other day. I don't want to spoil it for anyone listening.
I heard it was fantastic. I've not heard a single bad thing.
I'm going to give you one spoiler right now. And this is your fault for not watching it soon enough. That in this most recent episode, Sasha Banks gives Boba Fett a tornado DDT with the fist of a jetpack. I don't have to say any more.
Okay.
Best moment in television I've seen.
How much you want to bet she uses that as a WrestleMania entrance coming out as a Mandalorian
I hope she comes
character?
in a Mandalorian armor. Yeah, that'd be flipping amazing.
Yeah, that seems like the kind of thing, like that is a fan wrote that. You can tell.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, honestly, it's the best thing to come out of Star Wars. Like, I've been so cynical and soured on Star Wars with the prequels and then the sequels, and then I pretty much realized, I don't really like anything Star Wars except the expanded universe games and like 2 of the original trilogy. Essentially, I like the idea of Star Wars more than I like the movies. And
you like the world, not necessarily.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Because it's a dusty world, and everything's like, TIE fighters are all like.
Which is weird because I feel kind of the opposite about Lord of the Rings.
Which is
like, I love the films, but the world itself, everything around it seems kind of just bland by comparison.
Yeah, kind of generic. And I think that's because it was like one of the first fantasy worlds. Everybody's just kind of like built off of that, so it doesn't really feel
like
special anymore.
The games have never been great. The Hobbits I don't like. Yeah. It's weird how things like that happen. But yeah, I agree with you, Star Wars. And a friend has actually, funny you say that, a friend has just sent me their login details for Disney Plus and wrote, watch Mandalorian.
Yeah, that should be your first stop.
So I might have to.
Watch as much as possible before you get it spoiled for you, because there are some big moments that are flipping amazing, and I don't want to spoil them anymore for you other than Boba Fett getting DDT'd.
Yeah, like, this is a me problem, I get, but the whole Baby Yoda meme thing has kind of put me off watching it.
Oh, don't worry. No, don't worry about that. He's not in the actual program. You don't.
Oh, okay.
Not like in your face constantly. Like,
okay.
You think it would be trying to sell toys.
Okay, good. Because there is so much around that I got fed up of seeing Baby Yoda, and that kind of put me off watching.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay,
but yeah, you'll be good.
As long as it's all right. As long as it's just cool. That's a good shout.
It's you'll be reminded instantly of a video game, because it feels like he's sent on a lot of fetch quests. It's like, I need this help from you, and the person's like, oh yes, I'll help you, but first you have to go here and do this and get this thing for me. It feels like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, who made it, played a lot of video games beforehand, but it's still great. Cannot recommend it enough. Sorry. Anyway, onto yours. What's your favorite TV/movie of the year?
I spent this year trying to catch up on films that I missed. So I haven't actually watched any new films.
Yep.
I wanted to see The Hunt because I heard really good things about that. The only thing I can think of that came out this year that I watched, and it technically came out last year, but it wasn't released in the UK until this year, was Girl on the Third Floor.
That's the only Punk's movie. Yeah, you mentioned it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's the only thing from this year I've watched, so it has to be that.
By default. Oh, what about Dark Side of the Ring?
Oh, thank you. Dark Side of the Ring is the greatest TV show I've seen.
It's going to be my runner-up.
Oh, thank you so much. No, that is, what a fantastic series. Like that. People at work were asking me about that show.
Yeah.
Like people who weren't wrestling fans, well, used to be in like 2000, whatever, came up to me at work and was like, "Have you heard of this Dark Side of the Ring documentary?" And like that was the first time I got to talk to people about wrestling at work.
Yeah, my friends who aren't wrestling fans messaged me about it, like especially after the Chris Benoit episode.
Yeah, that one was the one. Yeah. Are they doing a series 3?
Yeah, and they've also spun it off into, I think they're doing like the dark side of football and
Oh,
the
that's
dark
cool.
side of some other industry as well. So
the dark side of some other industries.
yeah, we'll probably get 2 more seasons, I think, because it's that popular. So it's done very well for itself.
Yeah, so those ones. The New Jack one was really interesting.
Good. Yeah.
His promos when he first started was so cool. The Brawl for All one was funny in a way.
Yeah. Poor old Bart Gunn. I felt bad for him after
that. The Owen Hart one as well.
Oh yeah.
That one was
a heartbreaking one.
It was heartbreaking, but it was also a really, really good way of just remembering Owen Hart, like because they talk about his love of wrestling and who he was as a person.
Yeah.
That it sort of just because I never got to see Owen Hart until I want to say 2015. I went back and I was like, everyone talks about Owen Hart. I'm going to watch his matches, but it really just and the way that it brought attention to Owen Hart and them and the Pro Wrestling Tees launched a bunch of merchandise that I believe were for charity as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I think it was their most watched episode as well, which surprised me.
Yeah, looking at the viewers, it was 0.3.
Oh, was it?
49, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, like Owen Hart is just one of those guys that I think gets forgotten because WWE can't shove him. Like it's one. I know if WWE had him, they would use him the wrong way, if that makes sense.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And I feel like it was just one of those things that made me remember how good Owen Hart was. And yeah, no, that is a fantastic series. And if anyone's listening just hasn't watched Dark Side of the Ring,
go and watch it.
Series 1 and Series 2. Are so good. And yeah, I need to watch that again.
Cool. So moving on to the last category I've got here, your video game of the year.
Tomb Raider 2. I've put 50 something hours into that over the past couple of weeks.
We're gonna be like on episode 200 of this podcast, and you're still going to be playing speedrunning Tomb Raider 2, desperately trying to break that guy's world record as he sweats, and you get a little bit closer each time.
Yeah. The only new game I bought this year, I think, is Doom Eternal, and I haven't played it yet because I don't know if I told you this story last week, but I went to play it at 4 o'clock. So I was like, I got to spare 3-4 hours, and it took 5 hours to install the update.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
How big was the update?
I can't remember, but it was. I don't know how many patches it had to download, but yeah, it took a while.
Oh my god! Segue. I assume you've seen the atrocious launch that Cyberpunk. 2049? I want to say 2049.
2077.
2077. Sorry.
So it's. I heard about it and I was like, oh, a lot of people are complaining about this, but they might just be gamers.
Yeah.
My dad, I was on the phone to him and he's like, have you heard about how bad Cyberpunk is? And I was like, wow, even my dad knows this.
Oh, it might be the most atrocious launch in the history of video game. I mean, it had, like, you could never live up to the hype no matter what. But messing up this, they've taken it off the, Sony's taken it off the Sony PlayStation Store.
Yeah,
I don't think it's ever happened for a AAA game. How buggy it was.
Yeah, I feel like there might have been one, but it was just like a small game. Like you say, this is the biggest game to have that happen. And they're offering refunds. And now Xbox have said that they're going to offer refunds to people who are disappointed.
I wasn't super behind the hype, but I was like, oh yeah, that looks like a good game. I'll play that eventually. I still think I will eventually play it, but it's probably going to be in another year's time when they've gone and fixed everything and updated it and made it all nice, which I feel like they pretty much are forced to now. I can't imagine
Yeah,
I'll leave in this state.
I was surprised by it, but I think I was because I remember there was 3 times I think this year where they were like, "Oh no, we're going to delay it because we want this game to come out and you to be happy."
Yeah.
And I was just surprised at how.
After all
Yeah,
that, still.
still, yeah. I never bought into the hype of the game, so I wasn't really that offended, I guess, by it. I was just
Yeah.
kind of like, eh. It when Keanu Reeves came out, and again, people just started doing the memes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is a game where they're advertising it based on memes, so I didn't really care about
And
this.
now the bugs have become a meme as well. I've seen so many
Yeah,
gifs of the bugs.
I've seen ones of like people walking down the street and they look up and all the NPCs that should be on the floor are above them, just like walking on air. And I was like, okay.
I've seen a really funny one where there's somebody in a wheelchair, like an NPC in a wheelchair, and the player runs up and punches them in the face, and the person in the wheelchair stands up, runs off, and then he follows the guy running off for about 5 seconds, goes back to the wheelchair, and there's a new NPC sat in the wheelchair.
That's fantastic.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's none new games don't really. Let me go through my Steam right now and see what I've been playing. What have you been playing this year? Like,
well, I can't remember if I told you last week. I just started Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't even know when did that come out this year. This came out on PC last year, maybe it was the year before.
Yeah, it was last year.
Yeah, like I say, it's just a cowboy role-playing game. You're going around, you're doing all the stereotypical cowboy things, getting drunk in saloons, and you're like, buying horses and chasing after trains, doing train robbery, and then it's just like you play it for you don't even play it for long. That's the best part because I can't do like massive 70-hour quests, but I can do like quick half-hour here and there, and it's perfect because you get like you do like one little side mission, and then on the way to the side mission you get caught up in there's a guy who's kidnapped a woman, chase after him and lasso him and save the woman. He gives you a nice stopwatch, so you go and sell it and then buy a gun with the money, and maybe do some hunting on the way back, and you skin the animal and you bring the animal back to your camp, so your camp can put it in the stew, and your camp's really happy with you and they actually congratulate you. There's so many lines of dialogue as well. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Oh wow.
I cannot, like, the man hours that must have gone into this game is absolutely ridiculous. It just feels like a huge world that I'm probably going to get bored of over the next. I've been on such a cowboy kick at the moment. It's made me like start watching like loads of cowboy films, and I'll start watching Deadwood as well because it's got me to like a really Western mood. But anyway,
have you seen Westworld, the film?
I haven't seen the film. I've only seen the TV show, the first 2 series.
The film is very different. It's sort of like the Terminator.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yul Brynner in it.
It's really good.
Okay, I might
I haven't seen the TV show. I've only seen the film, but I have friends that have seen both, and they're like, no, they're 2 different things. You should watch the show. And I'm like, cool. But yeah, no, the film is like it's the Terminator, but it just happens to be set in this weird, virtual Wild West world.
What new category? What's your favorite Western, if you have one?
Hangman Page. Favorite Western? I mean, my mind immediately goes to Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah, good one. For a few dollars more.
I might have to get. Yeah, Westworld is good though. Back to the Future 3, solid.
Wild Wild West. With a giant mechanical spider.
Have you heard the story about how that came to be, that film?
I think I heard something like the giant mechanical spider was like some movie producer was determined to have a movie with a giant mechanical spider in it.
So long story short, Kevin Smith was really hot at the time, and the film studio came to him and said, you can do Beetlejuice 2, something else, or a Superman film which it ended up being the Nicolas Cage Superman film. And the film producer was like, okay, you need to write the script. You need to come around the house and read it to me while I lay on my sofa and imagine it. And so he did it all. And the guy was like, okay, this is good, but Superman needs buddies in his Fortress of Solitude. And in the third act, he needs to fight a giant spider.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah. And then he was like, no, screw this. And like, he done all these revisions. And every time the guy was like, yeah, you need to, like, Superman shouldn't fly because people can't fly. He needs to be more street. And he was just, in the end, he had all these revisions. And Kevin Smith was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this. And yeah, the script got tweaked and all this and ended up becoming Wild Wild West. And Kevin Smith didn't know this. He went to the cinema, watched Wild Wild West, and he saw it, and he was like, he got his spider. Yeah. He tells the story fantastically in one of his shows. But yeah, like games-wise, Fall Guys came out this year, but that was like done in a week. Among Us is great.
Among Us,
but
yeah, I was going to say, what about Among Us?
Would you count that? Because like technically it came out 2 years ago, but didn't get life until this year.
Oh, did it? Was it in beta?
No, it was like released. It was let me just double check.
God, that's so weird for a game to really pick up that long into its lifespan.
It launched on iOS and Android in June 2018 and Windows in November 2018.
Okay.
So that's kind of hard to. Oh, it's coming out on Xbox.
Is it not already? I'm surprised at that.
No, it's coming out to Switch this month, and it's coming out for Xbox in 2021. Yeah. Oh, like it's. Do I just know? Because I know I'm going to love Doom, but I'm not going to say that. Oh, I know. Safe bet answer: Mario 3D All Stars. Because it's 3 of the best Mario games of all time. Well, 2 of the best Mario games of all time, plus Sunshine in one bundle.
Oh, yeah, this is the trilogy of 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy.
Yeah, and I love 64. I adore Galaxy, so that has to be my game of it because I did get it this year and I have played it this year. So yeah,
that counts. Yeah, absolutely.
Hooray! And yours is Red Dead Redemption 2.
No.
Oh,
my game of the year actually came out this year,
ooh.
And it is of course Doom Eternal.
Ah, sweet. Okay, so Doom finally gets me. Yeah, cool.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's like so intense. Like the first game is intense, and this is just like the first game on 3 scoops of pre-workout is just brilliant. Your mind, it feels almost like a rhythm game, like a Guitar Hero game. That's the kind of like you're playing like Guitar Hero on expert mode. That's the kind of like Twitch kind of instant making decisions, constantly feeling that you get from it. You're constantly like shoot, jump, smash, chainsaw, jump, run for a portal, switch weapon, like constantly on the attack. And it's kind of like I played a first-person shooter afterwards. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was Wolfenstein. And now I feel like in every first-person shooter, I'm using the same like tactics I would in Doom. Like, just running towards everybody and shooting, and obviously it doesn't work in other games, but yeah, Doom is just it's non-stop adrenaline just pumped directly into your veins.
How good is the soundtrack?
I was about to say, yeah, and the soundtrack just complements it perfectly.
The one before this, like just Doom, the 2017 or whatever, is one of my favorite games because I love that so much. And
yeah, same.
I got to the point where I'm fed up of military style cover based shooters.
Yep, and this is the antidote to it.
Yeah, I love just jumping around. Like it does feel good, like when you're in an area, like when you play the second time around, it's like, oh, there's these 2 pillars up here, 8 pillars, whatever. I can make a cool sequence of jumping across all them while shooting the enemies below.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you get the BFG and it plays the BFG song, so good. I bought a 7-string guitar so I could play it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cool. I can't. That's going to be my evening. I'm saying it now. I'm going to play Doom Eternal.
Oh, please message me updates on how you're finding it.
Yeah.
I really want to hear about it. Cool. Any other categories or anything you want to throw in?
I did.
Just what's been good this year?
I was going to suggest like best show overall, like wrestling show that you've enjoyed the most, like a card from top to bottom.
It's the thing. I very rarely watch an entire.
That's
show. I really cherry pick my matches from shows now.
That's why I didn't pick it. Yeah. And
it would have been an AEW show, I think, because I watch most matches on their pay-per-views, or an NXT show perhaps.
What was the one?
But I would be able to give you a specific one.
Was it Full Gear that started with the ladder match? Because that was a really solid pay-per-view.
I have a hard time differentiating AEW's pay-per-views.
Let me just have a quick Google. I think it was Full Gear.
Like that, I Double or Nothing or Full Gear, like they can be interchangeable. Like there's nothing special about the. It's not like King of the Ring or WrestleMania or Royal Rumble where there's an actual like match around it. So,
I think no, Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing was a fantastic show.
Which one did that?
Like that again, was the main event was the Stadium Stampede.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sure that was a show. I was pretty sure I watched that entire show from top to bottom. If not the majority of matches.
MJF versus Jungle Boy in a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a that for me it's either that or day 2 of the Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, okay. What would you give promotion of the year?
It's hard to beat AEW.
Yeah, I was going to say I'll definitely go with AEW just because they're so. Not only do they have good matches, they're just so exciting, and you're seeing them grow and flourish, and all the wrestlers actually seem happy and positive there.
It's the most promising as well. Like
absolutely, that's a great word for it. It's promising. It gives you
hope. And it fills me with just like hope for wrestling in the future.
Yeah.
And the fact that I know people that haven't been interested in wrestling that have started watching it and have gotten into it, and like they know who the wrestlers are now, and like I genuinely get excited when I see merchandise of theirs out in shops now.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
And I'm like,
you feel good for them.
Yeah, and
I know it's a soulless heart. It's a business, so it's soulless, heartless company at the end of the day. But you do kind of like you want to. You yearn for its success. You want to see them do well.
Yeah, and like people are like trying to poo on this video game, and it's like you've seen like a 30-second trailer, and like I'm excited for this.
Yeah,
it makes me excited for wrestling, so it has to be AEW then.
Yep, same. I'm in agreement with that.
Just wait till they bring in Vince Russo next year, and then we all poo on it again. No, they're not going to do it. They're smart.
Yeah, we'll see.
And they should book me and us.
They should book us. Why haven't we been booked yet?
I know.
Cody, if you're listening to this, give us
Cody, remember when we hung out and you did that video for me? Thanks for that, but can you book me, please?
Right. Well, this has been a delightful episode. I've really enjoyed this. I mean, it's been a terrible, shitty year, but I think we've plucked the good parts of wrestling and media out of it.
Yeah. It's sort of, when you look back in that, this year has had high spots.
Oh, definitely.
No pun intended.
And I think the fact that it's been so crappy has made wrestlers really want to, put something out special for the fans and do their best. So it's brought out some really great matches and some really good shows.
Yeah.
It's not all bad. And of course, well, very fingers crossed, fans will be returning to shows next year. Everything will be starting up again. So I probably just jinxed it now by saying this, but 2021 should be the year, wrestling returns and things are starting to look even brighter. So
just wait till Boris Johnson makes an announcement on Monday that the vaccine was fake.
It doesn't work on this new variant. And, at this point, I just wouldn't be surprised. I'm like, I'm saying it's the bad news at this point. You do your worst, Boris Johnson.
Exactly. Yeah. Just so listeners know, like yesterday we had like a big announcement that tiers were being increased and like Christmas is cancelled, blah blah blah. So many people messaged me and like were so upset, and I was like, I saw this coming. This is just water off my back.
We mentioned like, oh, wait until lockdown number 7. That's going to be the worst one.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm expecting far worse news, so come at me with your news, bro.
But I think no matter what bad news there is, we can still take joy in wrestling, like the things we just listed.
Yeah.
So everybody listening, go for our list of matches, our favorite superstars. Go and watch Kairi Sane jump off with a bin in her head, and you'll definitely find joy this Christmas. So so thank you for listening. Anybody, if Nando's is listening, please sponsor us.
Iron Brew, I'll take a sponsor, thank you.
Please book us.
I'll wear gear that's orange and blue for you.
That'd be great. Yeah. What would you call your finisher if Iron Brew was your gimmick?
I'm trying to think of like brew and bruised. Something.
The Iron Bruiser.
Yeah. I might just change my name to Bruiser Brody, but BRU will be capitalized.
When you won a match, you'd have to do the whole Stone Cold thing, of course.
Yeah, easily. Yeah.
No, it writes itself. This is easy.
I know.
God, you'd be so sticky after the match, though, wouldn't you? Oh.
Yeah. It'd be great.
Right. Anyway, that's been a great show. Thank you very much, Aiden.
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, we will speak to you very soon.
Take care.
Cool. Take care.